Good morning. Good morning, my dear students. Today we are going to discuss about our unit 3. Next topic is routing algorithms. Before this, I already uploaded one video that is networking. What is networking and the types of networkings, uses of network. So after that, one of the major important topic was routing. So in networking concepts, routing is very important. So we have almost 6 to 7 types of routings are present in routing. 6 to 7 types of routing algorithms are present for packet transmission from source to destination. So we'll see what are the basic things we are going to learn in routing algorithms. So before that, what is routing? So what is routing and what are the properties of routing we'll discuss now. So the main function of the network layer is routing packet from source machine to the destination machine. The routing algorithm is a part of network layer software responsible for deciding which output line and an incoming packet should be transmitted on. And next one, for subnet usage diagram internally, that this decision must be made anew for every arriving data packet, since the best route may have changed since last time. And next point, if the subnet uses virtual circuit internally, the routing decisions are made only when a new virtual circuit is being set up. Thereafter, data packets just follow the previous established route or session routing. So, this is the main things we are going to know about routing. So in the present slide itself, it is showing that the main function of the network layer is the routing algorithm is a part of network layer software responsibility for deciding which output line is an incoming packet should be transmitted on it. Here, nothing but the routing is nothing but in our universe, the entire data was transmitted from the source of subnet, the source of group of routers, we call it as a subnetting. So with help of this subnetting only, we are transmitting our data from one geographical location to another geographical location. So it may be wire or wireless, but the router should be acting acting as a main key role to transmit your packet from the source machine to destination machine. So it will be decided by the routing. So for every routing, so different types of set of properties are present. So based on these properties only, the routing has to takes place. So what are the properties, and we're going to see now. So here I'm going to show some important thing. Just have a look. So the routing algorithm, the main function of the routing algorithm is three functions are performed in a network layer. What is these three functions? First one is routing, second one is congestion control, and third one is inter networking. So in this we are going to know about what is routing. Routing is a process of forwarding a packet of data in a network so that it reaches its intended destination. This is called routing. So in this routing make decision for which routes to use, and it is responsible for filling and updating routing table. Forwarding handles each packet as it arises, looking up the outgoing line to use for its in a routing table. So these are the things going to be noted down by the each and every router during transmission of the packet from source to destiny, or from one router to another router. So here, what are the main goals which are present in routing algorithm? So here you can notice that one here you can notice that here h1 is a host, h1 is the host, and h1 is a host source machine, and h2 is the destination machine. So here the packets are transmitting from host to source machine to the destination machine. So here, so by sending this information from source to destination machine, we have to follow some procedure. What is this procedure and what are the things we have to note it down? So first one is procedure are nothing but desirable properties in routing algorithm. This is very important topic, just listen very carefully. So here first point is in properties of the routing algorithm is correctness. What is meant by correctness? So here the routing should be done properly and correctly so that the packet may reaches their proper destination. This is called correctness, or nothing but routing should be done correctly, right? So next one is simplicity. The routing should be done in a simple manner so that the overhead is as low as possible. With increasing complexity of the routing algorithm, the overhead also increases. Here you can know that the overhead means nothing but before payload which is present is header. So the header has to maintain the source machine and destination machine IP addresses. So if the routing is more complexity, the packet should be forwarded between more number of routers to reach their destination. If you are using a very shortest path to reach your packet from source to destination, your header size will be reduced, right? So this is called a simplicity, or nothing but here you can notice this same thing I have written over here. So the robustness, and next one is robustness. Robustness is nothing but strongness. So in this robustness, it is ability to withstand the system over a year. Ability to withstand over a year. What is this meaning? For example, we know our mobile technology. Previously we are using 3G technology, or 2.5G, 3G technology. Now we are using 4G technology. Even we are using the 4G technology also, we are using the same network and same towers we are using, since just we are upgrading the system from 3G to 4G, that's all. So nothing more changes are going to be there. So that is called robustness. Nothing but one of the major network becomes operative, it may be extended to run continuously for a year without any failure. The algorithm designed for routing should be robust enough to handle hardware and software failure, and should be able to cope up with changes in topology and traffic without requiring all jobs in all hosts to be aborted and the network rebooted every time some routers goes shut down. Means during this transmission of the packet some routers going to be shut down. So during that shutdowning time the router has to reboot. So reboot, so even it is going to be reboot also it can operated this the rebooted router where it can stop, from that it can be continue their work with help of the routing table which is already present previously. So this is called robustness. Next one is stability. So what is meant by stability? So the routing algorithm should be stable under all possible circumstances. So any of the circumstances was changed, the routing table should not be changed. Routing algorithm should not be changed. That is called stability. Next one is fairness. What is mean by fairness? Every node connected to the network should get a fair chance of transmitting their packet. This is generally done on a first come first serve basis, or nothing but here you can see this, every node can connected to the network should get a fair chance of transmitting their own packet. So for example, a LAN having 100 systems are nothing but hosts. So every 100 system in this 100 systems, each and every system should get to transmit their information over the LAN. So that is called fairness, or nothing but transparency. And next one is optimality. So this optimality, it's nothing but the routing algorithm should be optimal in terms of throughput and minimizing mean packet delay. Here there is a trade-off and one has to change depending on its stability. So here it can reduce the mean packet delay over the network. So this is called optimality, and also it should maintain the stability, right? So this is the main properties of the routing algorithm, or desirable properties of routing algorithm, right? We'll go for next concept is classification of algorithms. So how many classifications are present in routing algorithms? During this we have two categories or two major classes are present in this. First one is non-adaptive algorithm and adaptive algorithm. So these are the two major categories are present in routing algorithms. So this category is based on how one routing table are set up and how they can be modify it at all. So this is we'll go for a non-adaptive algorithm. So this non-adaptive algorithm also we call it as a static routing. So what is meant by static routing? So static routing means the static routings are useful in olden days. Nothing but in ARPANET time we are using this static routing. See, this static routing was fixed. There is no change in routing position, routing time. So this static routing will discuss now. So static routing are non-adaptive algorithms. So non-adaptive algorithm do not base their routing decision on measurement or estimate of current traffic and topology. Instead, the choice of routing is routing route to use, the choice of route to use is computed in advance, offline, or downloaded to the routers when the network is boosted. For example, shortest path routing and flooding. See, shortest path routing and flooding. So we'll see what is this non-adaptive algorithm or static routing. And shortest path and flooding, these are the types. So next one is shortest path routing. What is mean by shortest path routing? Just we already know that the shortest path algorithm to find the short path between the routers are nothing but nodes in a graph. So here mainly the shortest path is nothing but build a graph of subnet with each node of a graph representing a router and each arc of a graph representing a link. The algorithm just find the shortest path between two nodes for finding the root. So how we are going to find out the path? See here, you can notice this. You can notice this. Here A is a router. Here you can notice this A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. These are the major things which are present in this shortest path. We are going to find out distance and cost. So here you can see this A to B. A is a router, B is a router, and all alphabets represents a router. So between router to router, the line which is present is link or nothing but a path. So A is a router. To A to B reach, it takes 2 distance is 2, and B to E reach, it takes the distance is 2 or nothing but cost, distance or cost, right? A to G cost is 6 and G to E cost is 1. So for reaching A to B, initially all routers are set up with B2 all routers should be set up with here dot infinitive. For example, you can see this here you can see this. Dot infinitive, dot infinitive, dot infinitive, dot infinitive, dot infinitive. Here also dot infinitive is present here also, but what happened here is, here we are established previously all routers should be empty position. There is no path of the router and there is no information of the each and every router, because there is no transmission. So there is no routing is occurred, or there is no packet is transmitted from one router to the another router, right? So initially all routers should be indicates infinitive connection. So now you can notice that here A is the router and it reaches to the B point. So A router to B router, it is showing that what is the distance. First one is A to B reach, the distance is 2 from which link it was distance showing is A. So 2 comma A. Next A to G, it is a neighboring node which are neighbors. So here you can see this, it is only one path, only one way direction it should be taking care. There is no bidirectional here, A to B or A to G, but not B to A, only forward direction it going to be takes place. So here A to G, so here A to G, what is the distance? Here A to G, here the distance is A to G distance is 6. So that's the reason A to G of 6 comma A. 6 is the cost of the distance cost, and from which node it is receiving the cost, A. So now the next link we have to take for the next link B. So already A link was complete, A router path was completed. We'll go for the B router path. So for a B router path, B will see this, what is the adjacent nodes for B. B is the adjacent nodes for C and E. So from B to C, what is the distance? 7. So B to C, the distance is 7. But from a packet is received from A to B, means from A to B, what is the distance? 2 plus 7. 2 plus 7. So 2 plus 7, the distance is 2 plus 7. Here from here to here, the distance is here 2 plus 7. So overall 9 plus B for C. So from B link to C. So same as like B link to E, what is the distance? So here B link to A means already we have found A path. From A to B, what is the distance? From A to B is 2 and B to E is 2. So that's the reason 4 comma B. So the B is reached from B link. We are initiated from the B link. Okay, B path. We are initiated now B path. So that's why here B was arrived. So next we'll go for the E path. So already two paths we have founded. Next one will go for E path. So for E, what is the adjacent nodes which are connected from E? So from E, the E is connected to G and E is connected to F also. Now here G already having 6 comma A. So we're going to see from A to B 2 and B to E 2 and E to G1. E to G1 means what is the cost of the distance? 2 plus 2 plus 1 means 5. 5B. Right, 5 E, because we are taking the E path. So compare that, here G is 6 comma A from A when we are taking the initiation of the A link. But now from E to G, which is the shortest one? 5 is the shortest distance. So that's why here the router will updated 6A to 5E. 5E. Now we'll go for the G path. We are going to find out the G. So for G router, what is the path we have to find out? So here G router already forward paths was H. Only H will be there. So here G to H, what is the distance cost? 4. 4 is the distance cost. So now you can see this. From A to H, what is the value? From A to G, 6 plus 4 10. Right, 6 plus 4 10. But here you can see this. Sorry, don't go for here. Just come to after E to F you will take place, because we go for the alphabet. Here you can go for the F here. After that we'll go for G. So you will get to understand. Here F 6 comma E. 6 comma E means why we are getting 6 comma E. From A to B 2, B to E 2, E to F is 2. So total value is 6. So from which node it is, what is the adjacent node for F is E. So that's why 6 comma A. So we'll take F is a router path. We'll find out what is the adjacent nodes of router F. So for F is two adjacent routers. One is C and one is H. One is C and one is H. Now we'll go for the H. So H is we have to find out the distance from A. So what is the distance from A from H for H? So 2, 2, 2, 6 plus 2. What is the value? 8. So sorry. 2, 2, 2, 2. Here mistake was okay. So here you can see this. From here F is completed, right? So just come here, G will go for here, next one. So G is already predefined because it was changed, because E was given a shortest path is 5 comma A, right? Now you can see this from A to G to H. What is the value? A to G 6, G to H 4. Sorry, now A to G 5, because don't go for A to G. A to G means we'll go the path is A, B, E, G. So what is the value? 5. G to H 4. 5 plus 4 9. So from which path G was initiated means, so H is 9 comma G. H is 9 comma G. So that's why here H is 9 comma G. Now when we are taking F is a initiated path, so from A to H, when the F link was activated, from A to F is A to B 2, A to B 2, B to E 2, 2 plus 2 4, plus E to F 2 6, 6 plus F to H 2 8. So here already 9 comma G was there. So which one is the shortest distance? 8 comma F is the shortest distance. So compared to 9 comma G. So that's why it was updated. The routing table was, the shortest path was updated. Now you can verify from A to same as like this. For F to C, you are getting 9 comma B directly. A to B, B to C. A to B is 2 and B to C is 7. So and also 9 comma B you are getting over here. So same as like from A to B to E to F to C. So what is the distance? A to B to B to E to 2, 6, 6 plus 3, 9 comma B. Here also 9 comma B and here also 9 comma B. But number of routers are very less, connectivity here 9 comma B. When you are going for 9 comma F, more number of router connectivities links are present. So that's why we'll go for a less number of routings are connected, which are forwarded path. So now we'll go for the H. For H is the routing. H is a router. We're going to find out the path for the H. So H forward already F was completed, only D was there. So for D, compare to A to H to D, we'll see A to B 2, B to E 2, E to F 2, F to H will be 2. So 8 to D to 10. 10H is there. 10H will be there. So here D will be the 10H or otherwise 5 plus 4 plus 9 11H. So here when you are going to see the path from G to AB, EG, GH, HD. If you go like this path, A to B 2, B to E 2, E to G 1. So total value is 5. 5 plus G to H is 4, 9. H to D is to 9 plus 2 is 11. So compared to 11 is 11 distance is shorter or 10 distance is shorter. 10 was the shorter. So that's why. So the value of D was the value of D was 10H. 10H. This is the final output. So next we'll go for the flooding. So I think you understand this concept for finding a shortest path. I will tell you just a minute. So next concept was flooding. Flooding also very important topic in your exam point of view. What is mean by flooding? So here you can see this. Flooding is every incoming packet is sent out on every outgoing line except the one it arrive on it. Means for example, here you can see this. Take one example, A to B, C to D, E, right? So A is a router, B is router, D is router, C is router, E is router. A to B packet was forwarded, but the packet will not be reverts back, or B to A it will not revert back. So that is the concept here, flooding. A to B or B to D or D to C or C to E. The packet only move forward direction, it will not come backward direction. So that is called every incoming packet is sent out on every outgoing line except the one it arrived on. So this is the meaning. So next one is generates vast number of duplicate packet. Generates vast number of duplicate packets are nothing but number of times the packet was moving from one table to another table, routing table, then a vast number of duplicate packets are going to be arrived. So for that avoiding of this duplicate packet, how it will be available duplicate packet? For example, I need to reach, so A is my source and D is my destiny. So I need to reach my destiny A to B to D. A is my B router is an intermediate router, so I need to forward my information A to B with a medium or intermediate router. Via intermediate router I can reach D, and also I can reach D via C intermediate router. C intermediate router also I can reach my destination. So when the destination will receive two different packets, so the both the packets having same information, the duplicate also going to be present. We have to avoid this duplication, right? So for avoiding of this duplication, we are going to give a hop counter contains in a header of each packet. A hop counter will contains on each packet. So what is mean by a hop count? For example, here a packet 1 will be there. Here we'll see what is the hop count and everything. Just have a look here. So I will take one diagram, A to B, B to D, C to E. So every incoming packet is sent out and every outgoing line except one arrive on it. Okay. So here the disadvantage is vast number of duplicate packets are generated. Infinite packets will be produced because of number of path links. Right. How to stop and eliminate this duplicate packet? Using the hop counter. For example, you can notice here the example A to B and B to D and C to D. So here a packet is transmitting from here to source A to destination D. Here how many count will be there? 2 count will be there. 2 count will be there. When the packet is moving from here to here, A to B, one count, and for example packet size was 2, packet header size was 2. When it is forwarding A to B, one will be reduced. Now the 2 packet, here the 2 packet will be, once reached to the B router, it will be reduced 1. So when it reaches B to D, it reduced 1. So the hop count is 0. The hop count was 0. Like this, the hopping, every hopping means when a packet is moving from one router to another router, we call it as a hop, a single hop. So by using of this hop counter also, we can eliminate the duplicate packet. So how? Using a hop counter, decrement in each router, discard a packet if counter is 0. If counter is 0, the packet will be discarded, right? And sequence number, here one more method also there. We can give a sequence numbering for each and every packet. For example, take one data, the message, take one information message. The message going to be split into 4 packets. So the 4 packets are reached to the destination in multiple paths. So each and every packet should give a unique sequence number 1, 2, 3, 4, for example. So the packet should reach the destination in multiple paths. Once all packets are arrived from the from source to destiny from the different paths, so after reaching the destination, all packets should be merged with help of a sequence number which is given. So based on the sequence number, it can be merged. Based on the sequence number, it can be merged. That is the easiest process to avoid the duplication. So avoiding so in this sequence number in packet, avoid sending the same packet second time. Keep in each router per source a list of bits already seen, or nothing but a list of table. So each router should maintain a table. So how many packets was received, the same number, same unique number. If the same unique number is received once again, so you can discard the packet over the router itself. So next one is selective flooding. The selective flooding, using only those lines that are going to be approximately in a right direction, are nothing but selective flooding is nothing but, you can notice this here, the dotted lines are mentioned over here, A to B or B to D. So only this is a one path, or what is the direct path? A to B, B to D is a direct path. So here another path is A to C and C to B and B to D. This is the another path. So the selective flooding means you need to take initiation A to B to D, only single path. This is the selective path. So all packets should be transmitted only this path, means this path we will going to select, means that is called selective flooding. This is called selective flooding. Here one example will be there. It is very easy for your understanding. Just have a look. For your understanding, I have drawn this example. So here you can see this here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the routers. How many routers? 5 routers are there. Here you can take one router having a direct link between 2 and 4. So here you can notice this 5 don't have any direct link from 1, 2, 3, but only it is having a direct link from 4th router. So now I am going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is these the routers. So first first I will take the router 1. Router 1. So from router 1, what is the direct, initially all routers having a infinite value. There is no values in the table. So first I will take for the router 1. So when I am going to visit a router 1, so the router 1, the distance value is router 1 to router 1 is distance value is 0. So router 1 to router 2, the distance value is 4. So here router 1 to router 3, the distance value, I don't have a direct link. I don't have a direct link from 1 to 3. So that's why I don't have the value. So that's why I have keep it as infinite. So for 1 to 4, I have a direct link. The distance value is 8. So I don't have 1 to 5. So that's why I have kept as a infinite. So next I have go for the next link. Next visited link was 2. Next visited link was 2. Now you can verify from 1 to 2, my value is 0. 1 to from 1 to 1, 0 value. So from 2 already I have visited 4. 1 to 4 already visited 4. So now you can verify 2 to 3. What is the 2 to 3 value? 2 to 3 value is 3. So the 2 having a direct link. So from 1 to 3, what is the value? 4 plus 3, 7. 4 plus 3, 7. Now for 2 to 3 I have mentioned. So I don't have a connection for 4. So now you can see this 2 to 4 means already I have a connection. So I have a connection from 3. So that's why I have going to connect via 3. What is the value? What is the value here I am going to get? Directly 4 plus 3 plus 4. What is the total value? 11. Instead of 11, I already given 1 to 4 connection was 8. So which is the smallest one? 8 is the smallest distance. So that's why here I have not yet updated 11, but I have kept only 8. So here you can see this via 2 path. So you can see this. What is the fifth connection? See, have a look. 1 to 2, 4 plus 3, 7 plus 3, 10 plus 17, right? 4 plus 3, 7, 7 plus 4, 11, 11 plus 7, 18. So 1 to 5, I don't have a direct connection, but I have a intermediate routers. From via intermediate routers, I have the value of 18. I have the value of 18. Next, I will go for the router 3 connection. Visited the router 3, right? So why I am going for the router 3? The next lowest value is 7. Among this, the next lowest value is 7. So that's why I will go for the third router, because the distance is among this all. I already visited this one router and 2 router. Among this remaining 3, which is the shortest value? 7 is the shortest value. So that's why I visited for the third router. For a third router, already I have a value of 0, 4, 7. So next I will go for the from third router to fourth. So what is the value? 4 plus 3 plus 4. 4 plus 3 plus 4. What is the value I am getting over here? 8 plus 3, 11. Instead of 11, I used to go for the 8, because already it have a connection with 1 to 4, 8. So I have not changed. So here for 3 to 5, 18. Now you can among this values 0, 4, 7, 8, 18. So I already visited router 1, 2, 3. Now I will go for the router 4. Router 4 visit. I will go for the router 4. So that's why 1, 2, 3, 4. So already I have a value of 0, 4, 7, 8. So for fourth router, which is the direct connection will be there, fifth. So for fourth router, direct connection will be there, fifth. So 1 to 5 via 4. 1 to 5 via fourth router. So what is the value? 8 plus 7. What is the value of 15? So here you can notice that instead of 18, 15 was the shortest path. So I have updated my routing table, which one previously in my fifth routing table, what is the path? 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. This is my previous routing table maintained, but routing table packet transmission will be maintained. But now I need to go for now I am going to update my routing table, because from 1 to 4 and 4 to 5 my distance was very shorter, so that's why I updated, instead of 18 I updated 15. So next instead of this all values, so I have visited all 4 routers. Next I will go for the fifth router. So the fifth router I will visit. So that's why 1 2 3 4 5. So 0 4 7 8 15. So as usual same values will be present. This is the process we are going for flooding. So this is routing basic concepts and shortest path finding and flooding. So in this very most important topics was finding a shortest path. They will give you one diagram, so you need to find out for example, so they will give you like this. They will give you like this diagram. So with help of this diagram, they will give you to find out A to B distance, which is the shortest. So you have to find out the shortest path. So this is one of the major important question in finding a shortest path and flooding. I hope you will understand this concept. We'll go for the next concept. So just listen this one, and I will give you the assignment for this. Thank you.